I genuinely did not want to make this video because the only time I've ever said anything relatively good on a positive note about Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft, it was when they came out and said the reason they're pushing the game back is to make sure it's polished and the best version of the game possible for fans when the game actually releases. And I said in that video, it's good that they're saying this, but they actually have to prove what they're saying when the game actually comes out. But besides that, I got absolutely slammed on this video because of all the things going on around Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft. And granted, I'm somebody who has posted probably 20 videos shitting on Assassin's Creed and shitting on Ubisoft for the mistakes and bad decisions they have made in the past. I've talked about the controversies with Assassin's Creed, literally all of them. I've talked about the stock prices for Ubisoft going to a low for the last 5 years. I've talked about the NFT releases that Ubisoft kind of tried to push under the rug and have nobody know that they were pushing and publishing any NFT games that were absolute dog shit scam video games. On top of this, I've talked about the Tencent buyout for Ubisoft. I've even talked about when Legendary Drops interviewed someone who was or previously was at Ubisoft and talked about how bad their work culture and environment is and was. So I am by no means a fan of Ubisoft or a fan of what they have been doing recently. There's a lot of IPs, including Assassin's Creed, that I am fond of, mainly because of nostalgia from how good some of their games were back in the day. Think of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I grew up playing Splinter Cell, the original Ghost Recons, literally back when there wasn't even a gun model on the screen. So yes, I am always rooting for not only Ubisoft, but also other developers to get their shit together and release a good game for people and gamers that are spending their hard-earned money to actually enjoy. But I say all of this to say, yes, I have hated on Ubisoft for very good reason. However, I still want Assassin's Creed Shadows to be a good game. I want Ubisoft to turn it around. I'm a fan of their IPs. And maybe I am reading into this a little bit too much, but it does seem like a lot of the content creators, some that I didn't even think Ubisoft was going to invite because I thought they were going to try to play it safe by inviting content creators and gaming publications that no matter what, were going to say something positive about their experience, but they invited content creators that have historically been relatively negative about Ubisoft, at least in the last couple years. And it does seem like some of them are a little bit positive in regards to what they played in the preview event, or at least they're alluding to the game being a positive and relatively good experience. But before we get into it, thank you guys so much for 960 subscribers. I really appreciate the support on the channel lately. If you are new to the channel and you like gaming news, gaming reviews for RPGs, action adventure games, etc., please like and subscribe if you do like the video that you see here. Now, let's get into the content. So yes, there was a preview event where a lot of content creators, I'm assuming people from gaming publications and all of that as well, came out to Ubisoft and played Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I don't know the specifics of the event. We're going to probably get that tomorrow on January 23rd when a lot of these pre-reviews or whatever they may be are coming out. And to my surprise, at least in my personal opinion, there were some content creators invited to this preview event I did not think Ubisoft was going to invite. One example here is Luke Stevens, someone who has been very critical of Ubisoft over the last couple years. And kudos to them for doing that. A company that invites relatively critical people or critical content creators to their events are opening themselves up for scrutiny. And by doing this, I genuinely do believe they're showing more confidence in their product. They're confident that whoever goes to their event is going to like it. And if somebody like Luke Stevens says this is an absolutely great game, even though he's generally critical about games that aren't very good, it's going to hold a lot more weight with people that potentially are on the fence of whether to play this game or not. Now, obviously, we won't know how many of these type of content creators that they did invite until tomorrow when the reviews actually come out. But even looking at the Luke Stevens example, it does seem like he's relatively positive about his experience based on the picture that he posted on Twitter. And again, I could be looking way too into this. You could also look at this and probably say, oh, he's like, oh shit, this game's dog shit, get ready for my video tomorrow. But in my opinion, it looks like he came in with a positive experience. Other creators, not ones specifically that have been critical in the past, but just other creators in general, like Raptor, he definitely seems like he had a positive experience. Tom Henderson, who works at Insider Gaming, granted, he could be talking about journalists here, specifically on the gaming publication side, which tend to be very positive about games in general, but he's even saying that there seems to be a lot of positive buzz around Assassin's Creed relatively lately, especially from what people have played in the preview event. And you can see a lot of this on Twitter if you search up Assassin's Creed in general, that people have been hearing a lot of positives about the preview event and what people have played, and others that have already played it and alluded to their experience. It at least seems like it's been relatively positive. So has Assassin's Creed done it? I don't know. We're going to have to find out tomorrow. On January 23rd, the embargo lifts, and we'll hear from all different types of creators that actually were invited to this event, what they thought about their experience. On top of this, we're going to be getting the story trailer, but a couple things that I want to go through as well that is kind of leaning me to believe this actually might be a pretty damn good game is the changes that they've made and what they've shown within the last week or so. Because it was pretty blatantly obvious that this game was not ready to go a few months ago when it was originally going to release, and you can see this from the different trailers and gameplay videos that they did drop. Yasuke hitting somebody with his club in the same exact piece of armor, breaking off every single time. We saw Naue when she was going through her stealth, having a lot of different stuttering, and obviously, again, it did not look very polished overall. On top of this, just when the horse was walking through a town, you could see it kind of floating and gliding. So all of that just did not look fully polished, and it did not look ready to go on release, and something that definitely could break immersion for players. And just in general, they were working on changing things about the game to reflect more of a Japanese culture, so that's obviously going to take some time as well, and that was also a big controversy in the past. But looking at the most recent gameplay that they have shared, it looks way more polished. You don't see that same floating feeling. It looks like it actually does have impact and has some grit to it when you're walking around the world, and you're not seeing all of that stuttering that you saw even in the trailers that they were literally showing the public previously. Now, I will say that poster that they dropped for the game looks like absolute dog shit. I don't know what they were thinking with releasing this as the poster, but there it is. Now, overall, does this mean the game is actually going to come out and be good? Absolutely not. It could be complete dog shit. We're going to have to see what people say tomorrow, but I think it is good that they're showing confidence by inviting creators like Luke Stevens, and hopefully we see other creators that reflect the same thing, that are generally critical about Ubisoft, that they actually were still invited to this event to play their game, and hopefully if the game is good, they will bring more people into the game to actually buy and play it, because Ubisoft definitely needs that right now. Their company is literally on the line, no exaggeration. On top of this, the more recent gameplay they have showed definitely seems to be a lot more polished than what they showed a few months ago when the game was originally going to release. So with all of the relatively bad discourse that I have pushed out there about Ubisoft in Assassin's Creed Shadows in the past, I am definitely still hopeful that this is leaning towards that redemption story for them, and this can be a very good gaming experience. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know down below in the comments if Assassin's Creed Shadows is looking like a game that you think could make that redemption story, and you think some of these content creators are also alluding to it being a relatively positive experience, or have you already written this one off? And granted, there's a lot of reasons to write this one off, I think, already at this point because of what Ubisoft has done in the past and the track record that they have had over the last decade. I would love to know what you guys think down below in the comments. Please like this video if you like the video, and subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!